I'm a drunkard, somebody writes to me from India. He said, I've tried various things, but I'm not able to stop drinking. Can I be a spiritual person by any chance, by any method? Can I stop drinking through meditation? Wow, that's a big number. Intoxication is one of the 3 great delusions on the path of life. You're probably wondering what the other 2 are. I'll just mention them in passing then. Intoxication, sex, and money. Now, we're going to talk about intoxication. This man wrote in saying, I'm a drunkard, but it could just as well apply to other addictive substances. These are all false samadhi, false bliss. These are echoes of the soul's knowing that ecstasy is our own true nature. It's what we seek, right? We seek it in many ways, not just addictive substances. There's all sorts of ways to, extreme sports, for example. You talk to anybody who's climbed Mount Everest or rock wall climbing, and I've tried all of these things in my life, but that extreme moment of focus, when your mind is laser sharp, well, there's a kind of ecstasy involved with that. Everything else falls away. You're just here and now. It's very zen, if you don't mind my saying that. Well, okay. Can meditation solve alcoholism? Not normally. I'm not saying it can't, but I think for most people, especially steeped in the habit, it's not smart to think that that's going to work. You need all the help you can get, because in alcoholism specifically has been studied greatly, and there's all kinds of metabolic and aspects of the body and the subconscious involved with that. We have in America the AA recovery program, which is decently helpful, and I recommend any professional help that you might look to, and meditation. So here's what I recommended to my friend who wrote. Yes, daily meditation. But there's a key. When we are addicted, when we're self-involved, you see, drug use of any kind, alcohol and so on, brings you into a very private, personal reality that is like a cocoon. It's one of its not very often talked about, like marijuana use, which has become popular because legalized. It brings you into a private reality. Maybe it's pleasant for a time, but it cuts you off. And so prayers for other people every day at the end of meditation is one of the things I recommended. Prayers for forgiveness to the people you have probably hurt in your alcoholic habits. Another one that I find useful for alcoholics specifically is a commitment to honesty. First, self-honesty, but also honesty in respect to other people. When you have a habit like that, an addiction, you tend to hide it. And therefore you tend to get into the habit of dishonesty, which ripples out into other parts of your life. And so integrity and honesty are extremely important. If you say you're going to do something, you need to do it, all right? That's very important. But getting back to prayers for others, think of other people at home, at work, and so on, and how you can help people. Think of the needs of others. Go out of your way to be helpful. You also need to occupy the mind, because the habit of drinking comes up in your mind constantly during the day when you're presumably, hopefully, sober. You have these images and you want to drink and so forth. And so practicing japa, meaning mindfulness, practicing affirmations and prayers, repetitive mantra, repetitive prayers, especially prayers and mantras which have real spiritual power. Om Guru, Jai Ram, whatever it might be. It can be the Jesus prayer. Jesus, have mercy upon me. Any of those prayers are absolutely essential to combat the subconscious magnetism of taking a drink. Okay. Don't make any excuses. I don't mean just about drinking, but about anything. Take responsibility for the circumstances of your life. No matter how you were treated, no matter what you ascribe your alcoholic tendency toward, stand up. Be a man, as it were, be a human, and take responsibility. The other thing is, this is where AA can be helpful, but even beyond AA, hang out with sober people, because the idea that you can live without a drink seems impossible when you're addicted. But look around you. There are people who are sober all their life. They're perfectly happy. In fact, they're a lot more happy than you are, at least potentially. And so hang out with sober people and include among those sober people who are spiritually minded, who are living for God, who are living for truth, who love God, who want to be helpful. Study the lives of saints. Read books about saints. Watch videos, documentaries about the lives of saints and what they have overcome, what they have endured. Read the Autobiography of a Yogi, which is the life of a very modern saint and avatar. Yes, finally, as the Alcoholics Anonymous will say, ultimately it's God's grace. But God's grace comes to you the more powerfully you put out the energy to help yourself. So you can conquer this. Many people never drink alcohol. Many people have overcome the addiction of alcohol. A sober life can be a life of calmness, a life of satisfaction, a life of integrity, and a life of great fulfillment. So yes, you can.